For a lot of people, saving money just feels boring. It feels like consistently saying no. No to the new clothes, no to the trip, no to eating out. And when saving only feels like sacrifice, it can be really hard to stay motivated. But there's actually a simple trick that can make saving money feel a lot more rewarding. And it comes down to something really simple: counting your wins. Instead of only tracking how much money you have in your account, this idea is about tracking something different. It's about tracking the decisions that helped you save money in the first place. And when you start doing this, saving stops feeling like constant deprivation and starts feeling like real progress. My name's Obi, and I've been studying personal finance for over a decade. And one thing I've learned is that the biggest financial breakthroughs often come from the smallest mindset shifts. One of the reasons saving money can feel discouraging is because progress often feels invisible. I mean, think about it. You say no to something you want to buy. Maybe it's a pair of shoes, eating out, or maybe just an impulse purchase online. You make the responsible decision, but then nothing really happens. Your bank account doesn't always change automatically, and even if it does, it's hard to connect that increase to the specific decision that you made earlier. Over time, this can make saving feel like you're constantly missing out, because your brain remembers the things that you didn't buy, but it doesn't always recognize the progress you made by not buying it. So it starts to feel like saving is just a long series of sacrifices. But there's a simple way to change that. Instead of only looking at the money in your account, you start tracking the wins behind the money. The idea is very simple. Start keeping a running list of your saving wins. This can be a note in your phone, a small notebook, anywhere you can quickly write stuff down. And every time you make a decision that helps you save money, you add it to the list. For example, maybe you almost bought something on Amazon, but decided not to. That's a win. Maybe you chose to cook at home instead of eating out. That's a win. Maybe you delayed upgrading your phone, or you passed on something you didn't actually need. Those are all wins. And the goal here isn't to obsess over every tiny decision. It's simply to make the progress you're already making visible. Because when you start seeing a list of those decisions stack up, things start to shift. You start to realize how often you're actually choosing the long-term goal over short-term purchases. And that realization can be really motivating, because there's one part of the system that a lot of people either skip or completely underestimate. And it's the part that tends to make the biggest difference. If you just write things down and never look back at them, it'll eventually turn into something you're just doing for the sake of doing it. But when you take a few minutes to actually review the list, you start to see something that's easy to miss otherwise. You see patterns and you see progress. And you start to notice the decisions that are helping you move in the direction you want. This is something I've experienced in a different area of my life as well. In my work, it's easy to go through a whole day and still feel like I didn't get anything done. And maybe you felt like that before. You work all day, but by the end of it, you still feel like you didn't accomplish enough. So one thing I started doing was keeping a log of my wins. Throughout the day, I write down things that went well or things that I accomplished. Then at the end of the day, I highlight the 3 biggest wins from the day. What that does for me is it helps me see progress that I might overlooked otherwise. Without that reflection, it's easy to assume that nothing meaningful happened. But when you actually review the list, over time, you start to realize there was a lot more progress than you thought. The same principle applies to money. When you review your list of financial wins, you start to see the discipline that you're building. You start to see the choices that are helping you move toward your goals. And a lot of times, you realize you're actually doing better than you thought. So instead of saving feeling like constant sacrifice, it starts to feel like a momentum. And if you enjoy conversations like this about money habits and building a healthier relationship with your finances, I share ideas like this in my newsletter, and you can check that out in the description below. And if you're working on managing your money better, there's another problem that catches people off guard. Many people don't notice they've been overspending until the money's already gone. So in the next video, I'll show you a simple setup that helps you catch overspending before it becomes a problem.